Welcome to another edition of The Talkin Hands.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of EPL on Pub.
Class is in session, hitting the books on PUBSPORTS.
This is another exciting edition of the main event on Talkin Hands. Bang, bang! Guess what, guys? You're tuned to another edition of the main event on Talkin Hands. As always, I'm Preston, joined by Mr. Danny Betts. No drinks for me tonight. Thank God.
Not yet.
I mean, if we disagree on this fight, someone's got to drink a bottle. So this week, big fight, Cinco de Mayo weekend, the return of Saul Canelo Alvarez taking on John Ryder in Mexico. First time Canelo has been back in Mexico, and God knows how long.
Ooh, I didn't know it was 12 years. Well, not in his hometown. His hometown has been 12 years.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
I had no clue because he's been in like Vegas damn near every fight. So huge fight for him. You know, big Cinco de Mayo weekend, Kentucky Derby, and big UFC pay-per-view as well, which I'm sure everyone watching this will tune into the live stream this Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. Danny, early thoughts? Any thoughts? Go right ahead. The Canelo John Ryder fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, typical people always bashing like fighters and their competition because what pisses me off is just because you don't know who he is doesn't mean like he's a bum or something. Like John Ryder actually had 2 top wins last year, and he's a mandatory, so Canelo has to fight him. And I actually got lucky with Ryder when he fought Jacobs. Mm-hmm. I had Ryder by decision plus 300. It was a little hometown cooking because I thought even my bet, like even though I had that bet, I thought Jacobs won. But it is what it is. But he had a good performance in that fight against Parker. He got him out of there pretty quick. And we all know styles make fights. And there's a lot of other little things that people are not talking about. Like Canelo supposedly, we don't know exactly when, but he did say around like the Caleb Plant fight, he messed up his hand. He broke his hand. That's why, you know, I don't know if it's a built-in excuse. I know it's legit because he just had surgery. You know, he fought Bivol, he fought Triple G. And if that's, you know, if he comes out here 100%, I think it's going to be a pretty quick night for him. This is back at 168 pounds for all the belts. So he's defending his belts. And I like this matchup because Ryder, he likes to like, he's scrappy. But his thing is he's got bad footwork and he likes to lean in a lot when he crashes into the pocket. And this is going to remind me a lot of the fight when Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders. Both southpaws like to crash in the pocket. And I think that's just tailor-made, like, you know, not a typical guy fighting off the back foot that Canelo has to break down, you know, late. I actually like that because you were saying it's kind of hard to bet this fight, but I actually like the under. The under is 8.5 rounds right now at minus 112. I think it was the best number I saw, or minus 110. You know, middle of the ninth. A lot of these numbers I really agree with when it comes to the bookies. Like, I think that's the under. I think Canelo's gonna be too much for him, and you know, especially if he's healthy now with that surgery he had in his hand. Hometown crowd. Ryder, you know, it's a different. I was thinking about that with Ryan Garcia. Like, you know, when you go to a big event like that, somebody's hometown, Mexico, crazy Mexicans going crazy. You don't know what the hell they're saying because you don't know Spanish.
Yeah,
little things like that. Like all that comes to effect, man. And the adrenaline dump. Like, you know, he already goes in there to scrap. And I'm talking about Ryder. So I really see he's open for uppercuts, man, and like I said, this fight reminds me of the Sanders fight, and he got caught by that uppercut a lot from Canelo, and to the body, to the head, and that's how he finished him. I think it was in round 9, if I'm not mistaken. And I see the same thing, almost the exact same way, man. I like the under in this fight. I like 7, 8, and 9. I think it's like a plus 240, 7 to 9. And then, you know me, I got sprinkled with round props by itself too. And Canelo's gonna make a statement here. He has to, man, because if he sees like scorecards for some reason, which I don't see it, or like a not a great performance, you know, people are gonna be like, oh, he's, you know, pretty much done. Like, if we can't get this guy out of here, then you're not the face of boxing anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree. So I'll address Andre's comment real quick. He thinks Ryder can make it interesting. Thoughts on fight going the distance. Danny's against fight going the distance, obviously. Stimio G, what's going on? And Buffo on the beat. Salute to you as well.
Salute.
Let's go to our favorite book. That's right, mybookie.ag, promo code PUBSPORTS, 50% deposit bonus match, credit debit, 100% Bitcoin. Use the Bitcoin up to $1,000. Current odds have Canelo minus 2,000, John Ryder plus 700, and as Danny said, round prop 8.5 over under minus 110 each way. Yeah, I like Canelo here. My only worry, we kind of had this I'm not gonna say it's a similar fight, but with Bam Rodriguez going back home to San Antonio, but he also dislocated his jaw. So once that happened, he was kind of not toast, but he won the fight. And the guy he fought was running. I don't think John Ryder is going to be running at all. Ryder, another thing I like to say when we do a lot of these boxing predictions, speed kills. Canelo is going to be much, much quicker than John Ryder anywhere the fight goes, if it's out in the open or especially if it's against the ropes, because that's kind of how Canelo likes to finish a lot of his opponents, get them against the ropes, bomb on them, and get that knockout. Yeah, I mean, the KO prop, it's tough. KO prop's minus 350. I said earlier, right before we went on the air, I think it was 7-12 is minus 110, 1-6 is plus 220. So I guess you could play both, or you do what Danny was saying, under 8.5 rounds. You get that, then you take a couple round props with Canelo by KO. Because yeah, I think Canelo gets the knockout here. I completely agree. I was going to go 7-12 just because that's what the books are kind of telling you should happen, and I think eventually he's going to crack the chin, or maybe like the Tank fight, body shots, accumulate damage, gets him out of there. He takes a knee, and he gets out of there. And Rio just said the same thing. The way Ryder's winning it might be put to like Rio now.
And I love that 7-12, but in this fight, like he was saying, I said the same thing. He leans in way too much, and he's out of position with his footwork. I could see an early night, bro, like 4 or 6. If Canelo's in his game, and his hands 100%, like he could get him out of there in like 5-6 rounds, in my opinion. That's the only reason I like the under a little bit better than the 7-12, just in case. And I could double dip too. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think Canelo is definitely due. What's going on? Real Deal Prime. He's due for a big highlight finish. He got it against Caleb Plant, but then, he lost as a pretty heavy favorite against Bivol. And then kind of what you were saying, right? People think he's sort of on the downhill. He impressively stopped Triple G. He won the fight pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
It was kind of a boring, like not a lot happened bout. So step down competition, hopefully gets the knockout. I'm going to probably side. I don't know. Maybe I'll actually just ride Danny's pick and do under, because I was going to say the 7-12, but if he knocks him out in round 6, I'll be like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah, that's the worst too, man. That's happened before. I think it was a Fury fight a while ago. But like I said, man, people want to make it seem like excuses. This happens all the time. Like, these are fighters. They train hard. They get injured. I mean, it is what it is. You want to call it excuses? It's just facts. And that's why he's been underperforming lately. And after that surgery in his hometown, like, he's and the perfect opponent too. That's not defensively sound or outside boxer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And he's only been knocked out once. That was a while ago by I forget his name. I think it was in the 7th round. At 160 pounds. But still, like, this is Canelo. He's never fought nobody like Canelo.
Yeah, I completely agree. As Big Show put there on the screen, if you guys could scan that QR code, we do have a sponsor, Dubby Energy. Everyone needs a little bit more energy. Get it from Pub Sports and Dubby Energy. Scan that QR code. That would be great. Pub Sports Radio memberships, of course. Everyone here in the chat, if you guys could join the Pub Sports Radio members. $5 a month helps greatly to the channel, and any and all donations, of course, greatly helps out. Let's go on Connor in the chat. He's a member. Buffo on the beat. Stepien versus Butazzi. 2B1 rounds 1 to 6. Even money. Is that good? Is that the co-main? I haven't looked at anything besides the main event.
No, I think that's on a separate card because yeah, I'm pretty sure because I don't think that's on this card.
I know the Butazzi guy. I know him.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, going from just like I haven't studied that fight at all. I think it's an early night for that fight, but I gotta dig into that one.
Yeah, because he's kind of like pretty. I'm not gonna say super hyped, but he has like some hype to him for a British. I think he's a heavyweight. Right?
Big heavyweight.
Yeah. So yeah, that fight's in Birmingham, England. So hometown fight for him. Yeah, I haven't looked in that fight, Bufo, but I'm sure if we have anything, as always, Danny will tweet it out as well. Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, promo code PUBSPORTS. Get that 100% bonus match up to $100. If you guys could, prizepicks.com, promo code PUBSPORTS. And Bufo lets us know, fight is Saturday at 5 p.m. in England. So, yeah, that should be it. Kind of a quick show for you guys. Any questions, comments in the chat, let us know. I guess the only other thing I could say is kind of what we talked about last week. Ryan Garcia does part ways with trainer Joe
I told you.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just a mess. Like, and I was just disappointed too. And I'm happy a lot of people are saying the same shit about like the whole De La Hoya Hopkins thing because that's just bullshit, man. Like, you gotta be there. You can't be there before the fight talking about you support your fighter and then like disappear when you guys take the L. Like, it's messed up.
Yeah, and I hope Garcia, whoever he decides to go train with, they give him a relatively easy fight to get that confidence back up. Because like we were talking about last week, he's young. He can improve greatly.
Yeah, he's got to put the work in, though, because that's the thing with him. Like, you can have the best trainer in the world, but you got to do the work.
Yeah, for sure. So that should be it. We'll quickly wrap it up here with Best Bet. Danny, go ahead. I think I'm actually going to probably agree with Best Bet as well here. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, under 8.5 rounds at -110. I like that a lot. I'm probably going to put a couple units on that. And then I think the best number I found for round 7 to 9 is +240 for Canelo. I'm going to sprinkle that. And then round 7, 8, 9, I think it's +850, +800, and +850. So I think this hits, man. It depends. There's no way I don't see Ryder like just. He doesn't box. He doesn't box out from the outside or anything like that. He's a scrappy boxer, likes to box on the inside. Poor defense. That's a recipe for Canelo, to get a highlight here. And I'm going to be disappointed if he doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to side with the under 8.5 -110. Makes a ton of sense to me. I think Canelo gets him out of there. Like we are saying, huge. Rio just kind of put in the chat. He leans in, keeps an eye guard. Yeah. Yeah, Canelo can knock him out quick and hard. Jacqueline in the chat. What's going on, Jacqueline?
Salute.
Yeah, that should be it, guys. If you agree, disagree, if you're taking the dog shot with John Ryder, you got to let us know in the comments down below. As always, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I think we had a few new people today on the chat for Pub Sports Radio. Subscribe. We're almost to 24,000. We just hit 23.9, which is awesome. Subscribe, drop a comment down below your prediction. We'll get back to you. We always comment, talk to the chat. And any last words, Danny, before we wrap it up?
No, just smash that like button, comment with your prediction. You already know every Tuesday here at 7:30. Yeah, if you got any questions, before we leave today, about upcoming fights or anything like that, And follow me on Twitter, at Denny Betts. I'm looking at the undercard too. I know Martinez is fine. Martinez was the one that fought Chocolatito that we got a great number on Chocolatito that one time. So I'm looking to that fight, and there's another prospect I'm looking at, Nathan. He looks like he's got some decent technique and power. So we'll see. Let's get this money this weekend. Let's go. UFC pay-per-view, and Saturday you got to tune in for a stream with the boys. Let's go.
For sure. And of course, Kentucky Derby. I know a lot of guys will be
I'm gonna tail somebody. G, whoever.
Yeah. I don't even know the horses, but there's gonna be a horse that's gonna win. Last year I think it was like 100-1 horse won. So
bro, you remember my story? Was it last? No, it was 2 years that we went to Vegas, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, remember who was it that won? Medina, right? Medina Spirit.
Yeah. My
coworker said he lives in Medina, a city that's like 40 minutes from here. And he's like, oh, I feel like betting that way. It's because of the city. And look what happened.
Yeah. Oh, it's tough. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little after with Big Show, but he had like the gematria thing, and it gave the two numbers. And we didn't know the horses, but those were the first second. I was like, this is
it came up 87, dude. And it came, and the finish was 7-8. So
yeah. And I forgot what we had or what we tailed. I don't recall, but I was like, ugh. But that was very interesting. So, but that's Saturday. Yeah, huge Saturday, guys. UFC stream, Kentucky Derby live stream. Obviously, we're still going on with the playoffs, so we got playoffs all month too. So catch us here next week.
Playoffs.
I'm trying to think who the fight is next week. I can't think off the top of my head. 2 weeks it's Haney Lomachenko. So
that's gonna be going. I don't remember next week either. Well,
TNT Canelo inside 3 rounds. There you go. Under catch is easy.
Yeah, easy. I don't want no sweat. Just get it done. I mean, I do kind of want to round 7, round 8, but
yeah.
Hey, it is what it is.
And Rio, nothing yet on the undercard. I think Danny was saying he's going to try.
I'm looking at that one too. I'm not gonna say definitely, but I'm pretty sure he's getting a knockout, and it's just when, and that's why I gotta break it down.
For sure. So that should do it for us, guys. We will see you guys next week. Another edition, Main Event Talkin Hands. See you guys. Peace out.